The Moon Knight trailer is now out, and if you didn't understand much, then don't worry, as I am here to explain everything for you, as well as showing you every hidden detail that you may have missed. First, we learn that Stephen Grant has a sleeping disorder, which is really tearing him apart from the inside, and we see that he locks himself up in so many different ways to protect himself from his dreams. This is actually because he also suffers from an identity disorder, and his mind is always split between two characters, Stephen Grant and Mark Spector. So his sleeping issue is created because at night he turns into his other character, and on the table next to him we see he has ambient sounds playing on his phone to help him get to sleep. Moments later he wakes up from his dreams, and from being scared he runs out and gets caught by his own defense mechanism. But before he falls we see sand around the bed. Now this could mean two things. Either this is his way of keeping track if his other personality takes control and he can see if the sand has been moved or not, or it was something that his other personality did during his sleep. Then we see Stephen going to catch a bus, and on the wall behind him we see a lot of signs, specifically the ones reading "Every night lonely" and "Keys go here," which refers to how Stephen isolates himself as seen in the start of the trailer. Now he is at work in the museum and with all the Egyptian artifacts, which relates to the fact that Stephen is actually a conduit for the Egyptian god of the moon, Khonshu, which together they go by the name of Moon Knight. We then see a few scenes of Stephen being haunted by Khonshu himself, and in the following scene when he is alone, he looks at the glass, and as he moves away his reflection stays there and stares at him. This is his alternate personality keeping an eye on him, which is a similar way to how the symbiotes work in the Venom movies, where the reflection shows who is really inside of you. Later in the trailer we see the same thing again, where he looks into another reflection, which he then ends up smashing, and this may be because his other identity was attempting to convince him to do something, but Stephen doesn't want to do it, so he attempts to get rid of the presence of his alternate self. And this doesn't work because at the end of the trailer we see him transforming into the Moon Knight in the same location, meaning he didn't succeed in getting rid of it as it only went inside of him. Similar way how Norman Osborn destroyed the mask in No Way Home, the Green Goblin carried on living inside of Norman. Then Stephen gets a call, and notice how he looks at his keys. He is clearly confused as to what it is and how it got in his bag. The phone screen has a crocodile on it, which following Egyptian mythology refers to Ammit, which is a creature with the head of a crocodile that feeds off the souls of the dead whose hearts did not balance on the scale of truth. And also behind Stephen we see a crane, which may refer to the Egyptian god Thoth, who has a crane head. Then the person on the phone calls him Mark, which is actually because his real identity is Mark Spector. This again shows us that he's suffering from an identity disorder and can't remember anything that his other identity does. And also a clever Easter egg that he uses a Motorola phone, which the logo has the letter M, which stands for Mark. Then in the next scene we see everyone bowing down to this man, who is known as Randall Spector. As you know, is Mark's brother and is known as the Shadow Knight. In the comics they used to work together until he betrayed Moon Knight and killed his girlfriend in Italy, which later in the trailer we also see him driving in the Alps, and it suggests that this show will follow a similar storyline. And behind them we see this van, which later is the same van that we see Mark driving in. Now if we look at his hand we can see that it is heavily bruised and he is holding a gun. And when he comes to his senses of what has just happened, which is another representation of his identity disorder. Cut to a clip in Egypt with the pyramids of Giza, along with the following clip where we see Mark in a room that looks a lot like the inside of a pyramid, suggests that we might get 1 or 2 episodes in Egypt. Then we see him running through a hallway, and his shadow takes the form of a crescent moon, which is also the same weapon that he uses and we can see on the poster. And finally, when just before Moon Knight is revealed, we see he is beating up a creature with a dog-like head. Again, following Egyptian mythology, this relates to Anubis, the god of the dead. However, it is very unlikely that Moon Knight will be killing a god this easily, so this must be another creature sent by Anubis. So far, Moon Knight looks like a show that is about Mark trying to figure out his powers and split personality while also battling ancient mythological Egyptian monsters and legends. If you are excited for this show, then let me know in the comments below, as well as liking the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe if you want more videos just like this one, and also check out this video here for everything you missed in the Multiverse of Madness trailer.